Welcome everyone to the anti-reviews. We're returning to the roots where we're gonna review the reviewers. But first, Erich is here to tell us how he liked the Borderlands.
Yeah, so I watched the Borderlands movie. I got into a movie theater and I went over to the ticket kiosk thing and I said, "What movie am I going to see today?" And I did not see Borderlands. I chose any other movie,
you
and
you
I saw
you betrayed
Borderlands
me
the
on.
way it
Oh,
deserved to be seen, which is
okay,
on 123 movies with the slots lights
wow.
shit going on in the background. Yeah,
Okay, so you probably I guess we can add like 2 points to your rating because you missed out on the cinematic experience
the
and the
amazing.
ad-free experience. So
Yeah, so I did have a guy working a blender in the
blender.
middle of watching the movie. He like
Oh yeah, I
puts,
remember those.
yeah, like casino and money and all those things
I,
into
I
the blender, and
I
then
can't believe that you're
flashlights.com.
publicly talking about your hideous piracy. That's
Hey, that's how I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, dude.
wow. Okay, well I guess it's fine because we're on a planet full of psychos who constantly kill each other. But also one of our friends
That's
is a
right.
psycho and he doesn't say anything. So I guess that was a bit confusing. All right.
Is, is that the mask guy or the big guy?
Yeah, the big guy. They
Yeah,
said he
yeah.
was
Okay. All
previously a
right.
psycho, and he
Uh
still
huh.
doesn't talk and is violent. So I don't know if he's not a psycho anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yep, pretty
So Florian,
interesting.
have you played the Borderlands games? That's what I want to know.
I've played the first one, and then I've tried
Mm-hmm.
the second one, and I hated it. So
Wow.
so either it's the fact that it was the same game again, or it was the fact that it
Yeah.
was uh, a game that gave me like a bunch of randomly generated guns, neither of which did any damage, and I quit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I
also
think
I hated that they
you.
just made like four new characters. Like why can't I play like the old characters again or something? I don't know. It seems
Hmm,
unnecessary.
hmm. So in some ways it's too similar to the other game, and in other ways it's not similar enough because you're not playing as the same characters.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean I guess it's like the characters are so strange, and I mean, like, Jesus, it's like the whole point of having like sequels would be so you could slip right in, but then now you've got like a whole bunch of new skill trees that you should look at, and you still have to pick out of
Hmm.
1 out of 4. Like, wow, would it have killed you to just bring back the old ones? I mean, who cares if they may have canonically died or whatever, or maybe they don't have to go be level 1 grunts anymore, but whatever.
Hmm.
Give
I
them
either
to
played
me.
about half of Borderlands or most of it. I don't think I actually finished it
Oh.
ever.
I mean, I guess it's really good if you have a friend, but then I don't know I don't know if it'll ever last for a second game, so I guess just pick one of them. Yeah. So, what did you think of the
Yeah.
movie? At least that's the real
Um.
question.
So the movie is being held up as like the worst of the worst of video game movies. It's being held up as some kind of like absolute just denier of
Wow.
video game movie cinema. I certainly haven't seen the Sonic movies. I have seen Super Mario
You
Brothers. I think
haven't?
Super Mario Brothers is better than this,
Well, yeah, it's good.
but I don't think that this is so far away from the game that people who like love the games would be so turned off by this. This is perfectly like adequate
Yeah, I mean,
movie.
it would be insane to be upset at this movie because like the games are already like really non-impressive. Like you can't say oh they've done a terrible job for these games because no, it's these are two mediocre things that have aligned and it's fine. Like you can have fun with a mediocre movie sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, and all, like, what did we expect a Borderlands movie to be? Is the other thing. Like, we didn't expect it to win Academy Awards. We didn't expect it to be like amazing. I think generally having a fun time with it is something people would want. And did you have fun with it?
Yeah, I thought it was fun, but I mean, obviously, it could be better. It could be
Right.
like a, I don't know.
I
Let's
think
see.
like you could have incredible action scenes. You could have like, and I know you don't like John Wick, but you could have like John Wick style like shooting
Oh
where it's
no!
like it's all about the shooting and stuff like that. But I mean, and it's not like there were many cool
Wait,
guns in the
what are
movie,
you
I guess
talking
you could
about? How
say.
how could it be like John Wick? There's like space worms and shit. Like,
Just lots of gunplay, lots of shooting, lots of like using guns in interesting, fun, clever ways is what I mean.
wow.
Because Borderlands is all about whatever the next gun you're getting is. Like, how is that better than the thing you were using before?
Like I don't even remember when the girl fired the rocket launcher or if she ever did. Like I feel like that should have been something. But I mean, John Wick is all about doing like crazy stunts. That doesn't seem quite necessary. I mean, I guess the like when they jumped through the worm, that was pretty cool. I guess that was fine. But I mean, that's probably all CGI, so that shouldn't tickle your fancy, right?
No, yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff just washed over me, like as if I'm in the ocean and there's water all around me, and the wave coming at me is simply more water. Um, but like
Impressive.
for me, Borderlands has always had these annoying characters like Claptrap, and
Oh
when you,
God, yeah,
I
he
think
was really
that's
bad in the
I think
game. I
that's the
think.
problem here is that if a regular critic sits down for something like Borderlands, where they'd assume that there's going to be at least one annoying character, this movie serves you up several. And if you're not prepared for that, if you're not prepared for Tiny Tina to constantly be making commentary and stuff like that, I could see a critic just being like, what the fuck is this shit? You have several of these fuckers? And like, honestly, one of the things that shocked me the most is how much Kevin Hart is like a straight man in this movie. Like, he is not really cracking jokes a lot. He is pretty much just the like straightforward, straight laced Marine character or like soldier character. And he is not at all the goofy Kevin Hart that I assume he's going to be.
Well, I mean, it's nice for him to expand his range. Do you really think Tiny Tina was that annoying? I don't remember her being like particularly annoying. I like considering her life, she seems pretty fine. Like she's broken out of jail and then
I
get
don't
jailed and
think she's as
everything.
annoying in this as she is in the other games that she's
Oh
in, where
right, I don't think I've actually played those, and I mean she's annoying in those because she like tells you to go on quests, right? So that's probably
right, and she
where
just
her.
natters on the entire time. Yeah,
Oh,
right. So, and
maybe
I
yeah.
do generally like Ariana Greenblatt, who is the woman who plays Tiny Tina in this. She also played Ahsoka in the Ahsoka show
Oh.
in the Clone Wars flashbacks episode. So, yeah, I mean,
Wait, just in one episode?
yeah, in one episode. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I thought, oh, this is Ahsoka. She's a bit young, but oh, okay, now I see.
hmm
All
So,
right.
like, there's all of these elements, and so like we haven't yet mentioned Kate Blanchett, Academy Award winning actor, here slumming it as the main character. But that's the kind of thing where it's like you don't often see that like big time, huge, like storied actress bringing themselves down to the level of Borderlands. So like at least in that level, I had fun seeing her have to do all the things that a normal action movie star has to do. So, there are some joys in this movie.
I mean, this. I mean, I think this movie just has like a lot of money behind it. This is why we have these stars. But so I guess they probably could have tried to make it more meaningful, but I don't know if that would have worked. I mean, I really need to figure out what people hate so much about it, and that's why it's gonna be good that we're gonna hear from the most important critic of the internet, the critical drinker.
hmm
So I
The
can't
drinker himself.
I can't wait what reason he comes up for why he hates the women in this movie. It's gonna be
Do you
pretty
think
good.
that will be the reason? Is that it's there's a lot of women?
Hmm.
You don't
Maybe.
think he's going to say that Claptrap is incredibly annoying and then Jack Black?
No, that's impossible. Claptrap was definitely the best part of the movie, right?
Jack Black shouldn't sully a good film with his terrible name after he sold out his friend Kyle Gass.
Oh yeah, maybe. I guess I didn't consider that, but I feel like I mean that would feel weird because I mean Jack Black is just amazing, but I mean he's got to have used he must have gotten used to the fact that these Hollywood people are liberal now. I mean, come on. And wait,
hmm
besides, like he probably would agree with Jack Black that the president should not be assassinated, don't you think? Or the former president.
I mean, he wasn't a Borderlands. thing.
No.
So
Well, I guess we'll just have to see. More speculation about him. But like, is there anything that you thought was terrible about this, or what is your rating of it?
I'd give it 2 stars. I
Ah,
think out of
that's
5.
okay. That's not the worst, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it could be 1 star, it could be a half star, it could be 1.5 stars. It's
Oh,
it's two
thanks.
stars.
Thanks for illuminating the
And like,
spectrum.
oh, I also forgot to mention Jamie Lee Curtis, the other Academy Award winning actress in this movie, who's just all right. Like, a lot of this movie just kind of coasts by. And do you know about the like behind the scenes
No, what happened?
aspect of this movie? So Eli Roth was the original director of this movie, and he directed, I think, a decent amount of it. And then they realized that things were not going very well, so they had to do a bunch of reshoots. And Eli Roth did not care anymore, so he like left the movie, and somebody else directed most of the reshoots for the movie, which were apparently a lot. While Eli Roth went off and made Thanksgiving instead. So, yeah, it's a very tortured production. It took a lot of time to make this movie. It's been on the shelf for probably like a year and a half. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I guess we gotta get a Snyder cut of Borderlands one day, and it'll finally redeem it in our eyes.
Well, here's the thing. The Snyder Cut is the Snyder Cut because Zack Snyder cares deeply about the stuff he's making. Eli Roth does not give a single shit. I don't think this is like a paycheck for him. This is like, at one point, this was probably like his like a chance to break out into like big blockbuster movies. And then when the production did not go very well, it was probably like, oh well, fuck this then.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. If he's in it for the money, wouldn't he give his all to it?
Well, I mean, I think you can start out wanting to give your all to something, and then scheduling problems and like filming doesn't go well. Like, all of these things can like build up against you, and then you're just like, well, fuck this. I'm not gonna spend my time doing this shit.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Snyder probably made a lot of money from his stupid ass Snyder cut, so that's probably a thing that would work.
Not as much as it cost, if I had to guess. They gave him like $60 or $70 million to complete his Snyder Cut movie.
Wow.
I have to look at what the exact number is so I don't get it wrong.
I mean, I feel like he would have only done it if he made a lot of money, but who knows? I might be wrong. Maybe it was all tax write-offs, Maybe he just paid his friends with it. Whatever. So, Borderlands, how would this movie have been good? How could we have made this into like the Mario movie? I mean, I think it would have been possible to reach like the level of popularity. Well, maybe not. I guess that is like one of the biggest video game movies, but also like general high quality movies. How could this have been more like a Mario? Would it have been better if Kevin Hart had grown up in New York and he was a plumber?
I mean, that would be more interesting, I think, if it was animated movie.
I mean,
like,
I
just
thought
think,
I thought visually it looked good enough, don't you think?
it was fine. I mean, I was also watching the camera version of it, so I really can't talk about much of the quality of the look of the movie.
There were a lot of sci-fi elements that looked, I guess, pretty strange, pretty like Star Warsy or whatever. I mean, I think the effects were done well enough, but I guess I always think so.
I think what people saw, at least what I saw in the trailers, was this is going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy, and it very much plays like a D level Guardians of the Galaxy, not a very good movie like that is.
Yeah, I guess in Guardians we have like Star-Lord going through a really big emotional arc, and in this movie we don't really have anyone going on an emotional arc. They probably could have made that if they had made Tiny Tina the main character, and she had been like imprisoned, and her life was terrible.
There is a bit of an emotional arc with Tiny Tina because her father, quote unquote, who is actually like cloning her to like get into the vault, is like using her, and so like she feels betrayed at several points when she's used or whatever. So like there's an emotional arc. You've got what's her name with her mother, Kate Blanchett. Like her mother has trained her, raised her to be like who she is, and she resents her mother, but in fact, like she's been raised that way for a purpose, kind of thing. Like there's like attempts to do stuff, but it's like James Gunn has so much spirit and like care in how he writes the characters he writes, and that's just not the same thing as it is here.
I guess the problem is that they can't have any moments that aren't like, oh look, we're so ironic and cool that we couldn't possibly take it seriously. I guess the favorite part for me is definitely the claptrap, and I at first thought, oh, they ruined his voice because they made him sound so weird. I would have rather just heard Jack Black doing his thing without the weird filter of it. But now I'm thinking Claptrap is actually a great character. I'd love to hear more of him with this voice that he has, this unique voice. And I guess whenever he was like betrayed, that felt more emotional than when she found out that her mother left her for a good reason, actually, or whatever. Poor Claptrap. Imagine the true horror of having to be that robot. Just being punished all the time, being shot at, and being immortal, but still feeling the pain.
I did not care for Claptrap in this movie. I just don't like Claptrap generally, so.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was.
He is trash in the games, but I mean, I don't know. He was really cute, I thought, in this movie. Like I love the singing, okay? I guess that brings it all together.
All right. I mean, like, that's the thing. If you like Claptrap in this movie, you'll probably like the movie. You'll probably be pretty entertained overall as the thing goes on.
Yeah, it's the real main character. All right. Well, I guess without further ado, we'll just go right to the drinker then and see.
Let's
see
review
what he
these
has
reviewers.
To see. Yeah, let's anti these reviews. What is the? Oh, I guess I have to click on the screen to.
Yeah, you probably do.
Oh, look at that! Now we're looking at a YouTube video. You thought this might be a background, but it's a video.
Right, let's not mince words here, gentlemen, because this movie deserves none whatsoever. Borderlands is 102 minutes of complete, unmitigated dog feces. A wretchedly terrible, horribly written collection of lame, bloodless, tediously protracted action sequences strung together by the most paper-thin, nonsensical excuse for a plot, revolving around a group of one-dimensional nobodies who barely even qualify as characters, played by some of the most laughably miscast actors in cinema, and relentlessly hammered home with appallingly bad CGI and forced, dated, cringe-inducing humour that's about as funny as a terminal cancer diagnosis. In short,
stop! Jesus. Okay.
The only character that's miscast, I'd say, is Kevin Hart. Like everyone else is kind of like exactly who you'd think would play that role.
Well, you don't
even to a certain extent, Kate Blanchett is funny. It's funny to get Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, you're right. The other characters are cast fine. Yeah, that is true. Jack Black was cast perfectly. We had, I mean, I thought Kevin Hart did fine, but I guess we don't really see like we don't see him be his usual self. Who would have been
better than Kevin Hart is Terry Crews in the same role.
Well, I don't know,
like,
but what else?
Terry Crews has such loose, funny comedic energy that he would have like fit right in with this group.
So Kevin Hart is not in Bad Boys, is he?
No.
Okay, well, never mind. Then I guess I don't really know too much who he is.
Would you like to keep naming black movies with black people in it, and I'll tell you whether Kevin Hart is in those movies?
Well, okay. I guess Medea is Tyler Perry, so that's not him.
Yeah, that's not him. Keep going.
Okay, what about the movie Us? Is that him?
No, he is not. He's not Us. No.
Who is that guy?
Neither is he. Nope. Neither is he. He's not Get Out either.
Okay, well you tell me a movie then.
He was in Get Hard with Will Ferrell.
Wait, Get Hard?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. Damn, what else?
He was in the new Jumanji movies with Jack Black.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
Mm-hmm.
reunited with Jack Black. That's good.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, now I get it. No, I don't know. I think he played this role fine, but I guess I may be wrong. Okay, so the drinker, Jesus, what a rant! It's like this movie is shit. All the characters are terrible. All the plot is terrible. Like, okay, wow. I sure hope he's gonna get into it. Is there anything?
I feel like it's a real problem nowadays that like when people dislike something, they can't just dislike it. It has to be the worst thing ever. It has to be like despicable, worthy of the worst kind of vitriol, and just
Well,
like
that's certainly the drinker for you.
It's probably the internet in general does this, and like you're trying to get people's views, so you're like, this is the worst thing ever, you should watch my review because I can bag on how bad it is. But like,
I'm actually trying to do that less. I used to have this series called Literally Unplayable. It was supposed to be somewhat of a joke, but then a lot of the things were so bad that I just shat on them mercilessly, like like Sonic Frontiers. But I should bring it back to being a bit more positive. You know, it's pretty bad to be that way. But yeah, everything is the worst it could possibly be. I mean, man, it must be so bad ever like interacting with the drinker. It's like, you have shattered my entire experience of what movies could be. You have brought down Hollywood and whatever.
The entire art form has been brought low by Borderlands.
All right, let's see if he actually makes any actual criticisms that aren't just like everything is terrible. Why would Space not just play it?
Absolutely terrible film that shames the very concept of video game.
It shames the very concept of video game movies, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
This grand pillar of the art known as video game movies.
You know what? I think video game movies get too much shit, okay? I think video game movies are good, and I will enjoy them, and it's too bad that nobody else does.
So. What's your favorite video game movie, Warren?
I mean, where to begin? There's so many good ones. I mean, Postal is amazing. What do you mean laughing? Yeah. What do you mean? Oh my god.
I was assuming you were going to say Super Mario Brothers movie, honestly.
I mean, that was certainly my favorite of that year, but I think in general, Postal is just the best movie ever. No, not well. It's in my top 10 of all time for sure. Postal movie.
Wow.
Yes, it is that good. Okay, everyone should have seen it.
Okay. All right.
What else? I mean, I guess the Far Cry movie is more of a guilty pleasure for me. What else is there? We had Dungeons and Dragons. That one was really good. I guess it's not a video game, but still a game. What else? What else did we have? Maybe there aren't that many. But
Sonic.
Well, Sonic is obviously amazing. Wow, yeah.
Battleship.
That one was okay.
Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
There's like a million of those, so they're hard to review. I think I've seen like one good Resident Evil movie. All right, I guess we better continue. How long do you have time? We have to do another video after this.
I want to go at like, is it 1300? It was 1300 when we started?
Yeah.
So like 1500.
Okay, perfect. We'll do an hour of each then. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Adaptations somehow managing to feel rushed and oversimplified, but also sluggish and dull at the same time. A movie that barely lasted an hour and a half, but honestly felt like it would never end. A movie that I've got the dubious
honestly, that
honor
is something
of
I do have to
reviewing
admit.
right here. So
really, I mean, I
is
guess
that it did feel slower than 90 minutes. Like 90 minutes to me is like the perfect runtime of like, get in, get out. You said everything you wanted to say, and we're done with the movie.
That's actually
this
funny. This
did drag it a little bit
because to me it felt like, oh wow, it's still going. I'm still enjoying this. So that was actually
well. That's
nice.
the thing. If you're like this is still going, but you're happy to watch it, then that's a different story. Then God, why is it still going?
Yeah, it's like, hey, there's another cool thing. Nice.
So abandon all hope, ye who enter here, because we're about to venture into the living nightmare that is Borderlands. Okay, so whatever passes for a plot centers around bounty hunter Lilith, played by a bored and embarrassed looking Kate Blanchett, who acts like she signed up for a completely different movie, but will
Well, that's just
No,
ridiculous.
no, I don't agree with that at all.
That's just her character.
I think she
like,
is giving it.
like
She is giving it her all as much as her all like can encompass in a Borderlands movie. And yeah, her character is disaffected
Yeah.
and detached and not exactly like thrilled to be here. Like that's her character.
Is he just completely retarded? When he hears the character say, "Oh, this shit plan, I have to go back to this shit plan and do the quest," then he thinks like, "Oh wow, this actress, she can't keep it together. She's not even doing an acting here. She just hates being here." Is that what he thinks?
Possibly, but I think she's like playing it as well as she can play it.
I mean, like how much better can you play this character? Like, I mean, I saw that this character wouldn't like express a lot of emotion or anything. So she's expressing the correct amount of emotion for the character. Like, how could she play this character better? What is there that was wrong about her performance?
Yeah, I just disagree with him.
Yeah, right.
I just disagree with him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like, how do you think she could have done better? Because you seem to be damning her with faint praise here. Because how could she have done this better? This character.
You're asking me? I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think she does a good job of being the character as it's written.
Okay, cool.
I think you could definitely improve the writing. The writing could be better. She could have better lines. She could.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but I mean, she's as good as any character in this movie. I don't know. Okay, well, I thought you were dunking on her here, but I guess you thinking
No.
she did as good as she could do. All right.
No, she's
What's
slumming
up,
it,
more-
but she's not like terrible.
Isn't that good? Is it nice to be charitable and to take lower roles? I think that's what makes Nick Cage great. Oh well.
About that later. Believe that. Anyway, after acting like a generic Hollywood tough girl for a while to prove how hard she is, Lilith is contacted by a powerful business tycoon named Atlas. Atlas wants her to travel to the planet Pandora to recover his daughter Tina, who's been kidnapped by a rebel faction, and in return he's willing to reward her handsomely. Pretty soon she's on the trail, where she runs immediately into a robot named Claptrap, voiced by Jack Black, who is, without a doubt, the most annoying fucking creation to come out of Hollywood since some asshole convinced Aquafina
You're
that she
famously
could
a
sing.
defender of Aquafina and a lover of the Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw Jackpot the other day where Aquafina was in it with John Cena, and she was not terrible. She does have that weird voice sometimes, but I mean, I thought that voice fit perfectly for the pigeon in Little Mermaid. It did not fit for the pigeon in Migration. I didn't like it then, but I liked it in Little Mermaid, and this song is good. Okay. And it cuts to Nick Cage on the toilet. Nice. Okay. Cool drinker. Right. What else? Oh, he hates Claptrap. I'm actually surprised. I guess you guessed that wrong, and I'm the only one who likes Claptrap. All right. So I guess that's. I guess that's it then. I guess he really didn't need to make this whole video because it's just coming down to him hating Claptrap. So is he saying Jack Black is Hollywood's worst creation? I guess not. Probably the Claptrap.
I think he's
itself.
saying Claptrap is, but yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I really would have liked to see more Claptrap, you know? What a shame, but I mean...
So how much of Claptrap do you want? And do you want 30% of the movie to be Claptrap?
No,
like,
I mean, like, I want this to have, like, many sequels so we can...
sequels.
We can see the rich backstory of Claptrap, alright. We gotta go back...
One was enough.
We gotta go back to the
enough.
time where Anakin the Skywalker built Claptrap and and he's already annoying. Okay, I guess he just hates Claptrap. Alright, what else does he have?
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the video game version of Claptrap either, but at least he wasn't too intrusive and even got a few decent one-liners from time to time. This version is like someone locked Jack Black in a sound booth with no script and no prep time and just yelled, "Be funny!" And it went about as well as you might expect. Anyway, wouldn't you know it, Claptrap happens to know exactly where
I'm actually curious if he how much of a script there was. Like when he's just singing, analyzing, analyzing, analyzing. Like I thought that was hilarious, but did they write that for him, or was that all his idea?
They probably wrote it for him. Like, there's probably some amount of like, yeah, Jack Black, just say whatever the hell you want. But there was probably a script that he was following.
You think it had like specific musical notes of how he had to sing it?
Not musical notes, but just like saying that he sings it. Like, if you tell Jack Black to sing something, he's gonna find a way to make it funny.
Okay, that makes sense. Alright, poor Claptrap getting all the hate today.
Tina's being held, and after travelling there to rescue her, Lilith discovers that her captors are actually trying to keep her safe from Atlas. See, it turns out that Tina is a cloned recreation of an ancient alien.
No, she's not. Like, literally, did he miss the movie?
Wait, what did he get wrong?
He said Tiny Tina is literally the girl who is key to everything, but she's not.
Well,
like,
yeah, but I mean that's still like
twist of the movie.
Yeah, well, he could still summarize.
The movie's built on that, but
I mean, like the idea is that she's the key. Like they say repeatedly that she's the key. So I mean, in the plot summary, he doesn't need to skip forward to the ending. I'm sure he's gonna. I mean, whatever. I think it's still correct for this part of the movie, but whatever.
But it's like critiquing something for like having a MacGuffin plot, and then like 3/4 of the way through the thing, it's like actually the MacGuffin was not the MacGuffin; it was something else.
I mean, it's not like that redeems it, but let's see how he handles it then, or if he's just misrepresenting the movie.
Race called the Iridians that once dominated the galaxy, and who left the secrets of their advanced technology behind in a giant vault beneath the surface of Pandora. Only a true Iridian can actually open the vault, which is why Tina was created by Atlas, so that he could steal all the technology inside. That's right, Tina is quite literally the girl who's the key to everything.
Wow, he says it again. Amazing.
So anyway, they go on a couple of fetch quests to find some keys because there's literally no other way to move plots like this along, and they eventually find the vault, but oh no, Atlas shows up to crash the party. Who could possibly have predicted this? Then Lilith turns into a fire demon angel thing and kills all the bad guys because it turns out that she was actually the girl who's the key to everything all along.
No way!
Okay, see, there he got it right. But then he's mocking this revelation. Wow. No, I guess he's right. That is not okay. I guess this clip here would suggest that he saw this twist coming. Is that what I'm getting here?
Not really. He's just saying that like it's just the same thing with a different character, which sure, fine, but like
okay.
I don't know.
No, I think if you say like no way, then you mean like oh I knew this already. Come on, this is ironic. Whatever. Maybe not. Alright, so you happy that he's corrected it or not?
I'm thrilled.
And then she takes Atlas into the vault and leaves him there to get eaten by a monster. And that's it. That's whatever passes for a plot for Borderlands.
Ugh.
You know, thinking about what to criticize in this movie makes me feel like Boogie at an all-you-can-eat restaurant. There's just so many options that I don't know where to begin. I mean, on a purely aesthetic level, this movie sucks in ways that actually made my eyes hurt. The CGI is complete monkey shit, the kind of thing you'd expect from an early 2000s made-for-TV sci-fi movie, with very obvious green screens and completely laughable animation. Combined with cheap, fake-looking sets that look like they were thrown together a couple of minutes before shooting began, and costumes that your average cosplayer would be embarrassed to put on, and you've got all the makings of a visually depressing movie. How the fuck did this thing cost $120 million? You could literally have made Godzilla -1 8 times over for the cost of this turd.
Yeah, I should have just used Japanese people. That would have really saved you some money. What do you think?
Okay, so I have a bone to pick with this because plot, honestly, I just do not give a shit. Like, you can have the most boring, contrived, inane plot, but if you enjoy the characters, you enjoy the action, you enjoy everything around it, it doesn't matter. Like, the actual plot of the thing is kind of just there as an excuse to show you cool shit. So it's like, when people complain about the plots of movies, it's incredibly dumb. It's like, so what? That's the structure. It's just structure. That's all it is. So what if they have to hunt keys, or if they have to get fucking like go somewhere or do something. Like
I
fucking
I
Lord of
s-
the
I
Rings
s-
is basically just a big long fetch quest.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely examples where that's the case, but I think on average it's still valid to criticize the plot. I mean, it just doesn't make sense here because this is
But do
not
you
supposed
go
to
to
be.
Borderlands and be like, I want a compelling, interesting, amazingly thought out plot? No, I want to see people shoot shit. That's what I want to see from Borderlands.
I mean, you could have a good plot. What do you mean?
It just doesn't matter to me. Like, the John Wick movies don't have an amazing plot, but they have great action.
Yeah, they sure
The
do
plot
not
of the
have a
first
good
John Wick
plot.
movie is someone killed his dog. He wants revenge on that person.
And I
Like,
and I
it's
will I
simple,
will
it's straightforward.
and I will never forgive John Wick for having such a stupid plot. Okay, and I will have my revenge. I, but whatever. I mean, the plot is fine for the movie. That makes sense. I guess he had to gorge himself on that criticism like Boogie. But then he says that everything looks terrible. I mean, like, would this movie have really been much better if it looked better? I mean, I thought it looked fine. I mean, fuck.
It generally looked like the video game. Like, I just don't like.
Well, I mean, that's probably not in its favor. I mean, like, it's gonna be hard to pull off like realistic like worms and like flying bats and shit like that without it looking goofy. If you're making a happy if you're making a colorful movie, like if you're just hiding it in darkness, it'll be easier. I mean, there are a lot of dark scenes here too, which I don't know if they helped. Well, whatever. I'm usually completely against judging CGI anyways. I'm usually fine with however it looks. So that's just me, and you didn't see it, so I guess we don't have much to push against here.
Yeah.
The story, like I said earlier, feels
It
like
was not very well lit.
with an excuse for the next
It's my,
action scene.
complaint.
It's basically
That's
just a
because of the
series of
fucking
fetch quests leading to the end
shitty
goal.
version I
Find the
watched.
girl, then find two keys, then combine them all together to open the vault and fight off some generic bad guys along the way. That's basically all there is to it. Also, I get the distinct impression that there was originally a much longer cut of this movie that got butchered in the editing room, which is why there's weird out-of-place narration from Lilith to help plug the very obvious gaps. The film relies heavily on action to keep the audience engaged, but even that doesn't generate much interest because most of the set pieces go on way too long and the complete lack of blood, violence and consequences kills any sense of stakes. From what I understand, the original plan was to make this movie R-rated, which would have been much more in keeping with the spirit of the games. As it stands, the action scenes become just another tiresome...
Is it where the game's extra bloody or whatever? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't really remember. Most of what I remember is just numbers flying off people.
Yeah, exactly. Like, jeez. I mean, I guess I remember there being some...
There's a lot of goo.
Yeah, I remember goo, but was there blood? I guess there must have been blood.
Possible. It's probable.
I mean,
There are
whatever.
parts of it, but like, it's all cartoony is the thing.
Yeah, this is a retarded criticism. I can't believe that he's saying, "Oh yeah, we needed more gore. That would have made this movie better." This movie that's already like stupid in his idea, like a movie fit for babies, and he wants to make it bloody. That would have really improved it. Who would have seen it then? Insane. But I hear this criticism a lot where people are like really offended that they turned down the blood. Like, do you think there was more blood originally?
I don't know.
I mean, she kills like a bunch of people. It's just not a lot of visual blood, I guess. Just had to drown it in blood like Deadpool. But Deadpool was... I don't even know if it helps to have all that blood in Deadpool. All he does is like swear a lot, and that doesn't help either. Well, I guess we'll take forever here. Let's just keep playing.
I would say I honestly do not care enough about Borderlands to care that it's not R-rated. Like, these movies are always going to try to like appeal to the like common denominator audience who's going to get the money.
I mean, that should be good anyways. Like if you just have a lot of gore and it doesn't service anything, what did you achieve? Nothing. Oh well.
Something that you have to slog through. The characters are either annoying or boring as fuck, or both. I get the feeling that they were trying for a Guardians of the Galaxy style team-up movie, but the difference is that the Guardians were all interesting, well-written, fleshed-out characters whose personal history and motivations actually had an impact on the plot. Their banter was witty and fun, and they all sparked well off each other. Most of the gang in Borderlands get almost no backstory or development, especially guys like Roland and Krieg, who are just kind of there.
Yeah,
Tannis
I
adds
guess
nothing
so.
to the story and could easily have been left out, and as for Tina, she's such a simplistic caricature with no actual human emotion that it's tough to feel much of anything for her. She doesn't seem to care too much about anything that's going on around her, and as a result, neither did I. Lilith, on the other hand, falls neatly into the category of tedious, tough-talking, overpowered girl boss, a trope so thoroughly played out by now that it makes the whole movie feel weirdly dated, like it should have come out 5 years ago when this stuff was at its peak. And to make matters worse,
What does that mean? Is it done? Are we done having girl bosses now?
Girls can be bosses until the end of time.
We've missed the peak. Okay, the girl boss bubble has popped, and now the girl boss stocks have gone to the cellar. That's like, this is like insane that he just says this like with a straight face. It's like, yeah, like imagine if he said like, yeah, we're done with guys being like cool in movies. Okay, we don't need that anymore now. Like, for real, like.
Yeah.
He just can't have it that women are are having fun and being cool.
I don't even think it's particularly girl power-y. She's just the main character, and she does badass things. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess she mostly does. And she gets annoyed by everyone too, which is fine, because everyone is annoying to her.
Right.
Like, I mean, I think her expressions are warranted. I guess she's not even, well, I guess she does this thing where she just tortures Claptrap and just shoots him a bunch of times for no reason. I guess that's like part of the cruel girl boss that they hate, just like when Captain Marvel stole that bike. And did she punch the guy in the balls? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't agree with his Tiny Tina criticism either, because I think they do pull on heartstrings about her. She is not just like one note, always making jokes about things. You can kind of tell that she's been like, she feels betrayed. She feels like she doesn't have a home and is trying to make one for herself as much as possible. Like, those things come through in the movie, and he's not really regarding that at all.
I mean, they don't come through very well. I mean, they should have done like some backstory or something, because she is just like,
they did. They literally did.
No,
when they're in the,
I mean,
they're in the fucking thing, and she's talking to Lilith about her backstory and about how like she was one of many clones or whatever. She's being used to like.
Well, yeah,
find
no, I
this,
get
and
that. I'm saying that they should have shown the backstory. Like, if we see her growing up and there being experiments done on her, that might have been better to characterize her, because like this way it's just like, oh yeah, I got this tragic backstory, but like she's just like the insane child that throws grenades at everyone. I don't know. Doesn't really seem to have too much depth there.
I'm not saying it's deep. I'm just saying it's like, it's more than just one dimension.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's overdoing his criticism slightly, sure.
she's played by a horribly miscast Kate Blanchett. Don't get me wrong, Kate's definitely a good actress, but playing a tough-talking, hard-as-nails bounty hunter just really isn't her thing. And at 55 years old, she looks tired, bored, and kind of embarrassed to be there, and I can't say I blame her.
He really is so stupid. That is literally her character that she's playing. If that's how she seems, then she's done it right. What is his fucking problem? Oh my god. Do you want to say something? Yeah.
Character like Lilith really feels like she should have been played by a much younger and more energetic actress who can inject some much needed fun and enthusiasm and...
Oh wait, was there an issue with your connection?
That's what Tiny Tina is for. Are you kidding me? No. I'm just saying, like, he's just full of shit.
Okay.
Tiny Tina is there to be the younger, full of energy character. Lilith is the, like, over it, old enough to have done this for a while, like, veteran.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just doesn't buy that a woman can kick ass. I think that's like the main thing for him. Like every time it happens, he just assumes that they've made it up and it's bad, you know. But like, like, can we just have that in movies? Is that so bad? Oh well.
The part. Blanchett just sucks all the life out of her scenes. Ultimately, I think this film's disastrous opening weekend speaks for itself. Nobody was excited to see it, the cast didn't seem to want to be in it, and released as it was into the August dumping ground, it's pretty obvious the studio had no faith in it. Which begs the very obvious question, why even bother making this thing in the first place? I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't fucking care. My only advice to you is don't waste your money on it. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Well, I'm surprised that ended so quickly. Oh, what's coming next?
You can't win this one, Max.
Ah, right. This one... Okay, so... Well, I guess he just hates everything about it. What was the last thing he said? Jesus, how did I forget that? Are you there, Erich? I don't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was talking, but I was muted.
Oh!
He said something like, go away now, or something.
Oh, yeah, that is his normal thing that he says at the end.
But, like, I don't like him. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like... He has, like... Is that, like, TikTok? You, like, structure your voice in a very weird way so that people will listen to you. Is that a thing? Like, is that a, like, TikTok thing?
No, I think he's done that, like, way earlier, and he makes long videos, so it shouldn't be a TikTok thing, right? So I'm looking at this video. There's like a 10-minute segment.
It just feels like every single comment he like.
Damn it! What's up with your internet?
What the?
I keep not hearing you.
What the hell? What is this video? It says.
Yeah, I know.
It says Norse mythology with guns.
Like this is a let's play, and like there's a 5-minute segment where he rants about Borderlands, and I want to find it. I sure hope that's the right video.
Whoa.
Right, what was that you were saying about... Right, you think he talks in a weird way? I think he's just... I guess that's just how he talks, and maybe he cuts out all the times he breathes, and so it seems more unnatural than it would normally do. It's weird to tell.
But, like, it's the cadence of his voice. It's the way he says things. Like, and I think a lot of YouTubers talk like this, and it's the way that, like, it's, like, individual script pieces that he has cut and then cut together. And then, but if you watch the entire thing, it just sounds very unnatural to me, at least.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so at around minute 3, that's where we want to be here. I guess I'm glad that this video didn't go on longer. That felt like like we were gonna be doing it forever.
I was gonna say, if it was much longer, I would have gotten bored.
We don't want that. Yeah, I guess he certainly is saying a lot of things all at once, so he's no way of getting bored. Oh my god, this bar is so small to click. Wow, what am I doing? Why am I so bad?
What are you complaining about? What the hell?
Okay, there we go. I got it.
Oh boy, this clip
Talking
from
about, like, the
Borderlands
scroll bar?
Okay,
there we go.
The playing of the video. Let's see.
hired Eli Roth, purveyor of gore flicks and torture porn, to direct your PG-13 action movie based on a famously violent
Oh yeah,
franchise.
we watched that Death Wish
I don't want to
movie.
say a word.
We did what? The Death Wish
Or at least
movie?
I did.
Oh, I don't
What,
remember
the
that
Death
one.
Wish movie. Yeah.
Right, so
That was for Izakino.
Eli Roth, is that the guy who originally did the directing?
Yeah, he was the original director. Yeah.
Alright, so now we've got this Let's Player complaining that this movie is... Actually, he hasn't even seen this movie. He's just complaining about the trailer.
Oh, he's just complaining about it.
Yeah, he's complaining
Not
about the
even
trailer.
specifically.
Well, I mean, he's got... I think that you'll actually agree with lots of his complaints because you like John Wick and he's wishing it was more like John Wick. So I guess we'll see if you agree.
We're filming, but it's lots of blood, lots of guts. It's totally bonkers, but it's also very Borderlands.
You can bring your family, your loved ones.
So it was like a 7, 7.5.
If ever there were an opportunity to dissect a bad action scene that I can contrast with what good action is, oh boy! This clip from Borderlands was recently released, and it looks like absolute shit. I don't say that to disrespect the people working on it, except Randy, Eli Roth, whoever wrote this, but especially whoever fucking edited this. This clip was edited by either A, an incredibly stupid person, or B, someone who didn't have time or good enough footage to cut something good together, because this is embarrassing. Using this to promote your action movie is like using Kevin Spacey to promote the YMCA. You might be in the comments saying that this clip isn't that bad. Well, you're wrong.
I hate that Civi is just doing the drinker thing where he's playing the guys throwing up over and over again, and we're going to be seeing this clip a lot. But I might have been wrong to include this because I guess he's just talking about the trailer, and we haven't even seen the trailer. But let's see if any of the action scene stuff he complains about is still valid.
Don't want to.
Okay, right there, you see how they had someone laughing in the background, a male voice that wasn't Kevin Hart or Jack Black? Which means it's this guy playing Krieg, except the goddamn thing cuts to him and he clearly isn't laughing.
Fucking roll.
But then he's suddenly attacked from above. They kick this psycho into some boxes, and then a bunch of psychos run in from this hallway that we assume has to be behind where Roland and Tannis were because it acts like a reverse shot. But it is absolutely not the same place. And then Lilith, she brings out 2 pistols, which you think, man, that's gonna be cool because it should be. And she flicks them towards the enemy in a very John Woo Hong Kong action kind of way, where aiming the gun is secondary to looking cool while firing it. I guess it's kind of cool, though, given the gunslinging to the Siren character seems odd. Anyway, whoever was directing or editing this forgot that these things need to actually have an impact, and so the gunfighting in this is atrocious. It moves so fast and it's so muddy and dark that I had to pause to see that Lilith is firing her guns here in 2 different directions. So the clip cuts to one guy falling down
really?
at an angle.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't. I think I kind of felt her shooting in the other direction. Did you not see that?
I got that she was shooting in 2 directions.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I guess he's wrong then.
You can tell because of the muzzle flare.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Weird that he missed that.
We haven't seen, so spatially this motherfucker could be anywhere, but your cool setup doesn't matter because she fired 2 shots and you showed one guy falling. Bloodlessly, because PG-13. This guy gets shot and looks like he slipped on a banana peel. This is Uwe Boll tier shit. Suddenly Lilith gets tackled into a box by a big guy, and never mind, he doesn't exist anymore because she pops out of the box to fire her guns at nothing. This is actually a smart film nerd reference to the great train robbery, like in Goodfellas. No, I'm kidding, it just sucks. And then more guys come in from that hallway that's now different, again, like it was originally, and characters fucking teleport between shots. The 2 biggest problems with this are the editing and the staging of the scene itself, where your heroes are almost exclusively shooting blindly at off-screen stuff that responds more lifelessly than the game enemies. The only passable fighting is Krieg doing melee because it's the only place where you see a character doing a thing and then the thing has a believable physical response. I would say, without a doubt, that either Eli Roth doesn't know how to shoot action, doesn't care, or they sanitized it so much to get a PG-13 so that all the kids could go see it. You know, all the Gen Alphas who are so into Borderlands and going to the theater to see movies. So let's say you take out the middleman of the characters or the editing and transport your action to an interactive medium, where your character is always visible and there's been literal years of work put into making sure that all of the player's actions have definitive audio-visual feedback on the environment, where everything violently explodes into debris. You can still do that in PG-13, you know, props don't bleed.
You can bring your family, your loved ones, bring them to the movie.
Fuck you, Randy.
I wonder if there's more about this, but yeah, I mean, did you ever feel it's weird that she's just shooting off screen? I guess I probably wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't seen this video first.
That's definitely a PG-13 concession thing, but it's also like that's just sometimes how action movies go. Like you see somebody shooting and then you see somebody get shot. Like that's just how some things work.
You don't need them to be in the same scenes like in John Wick.
if it's the best possible version of the thing, then yeah, I would like to see that. But this isn't that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I guess this was just him explaining why Max Payne is good. I wonder if there's any more. I guess we might have to skip forward.
In 1996, Finnish game company, the writer in question, Hong Kong style.
No, I guess we're done. Alright, let's see.
Yeah,
Borderlands.
right. I was gonna say I don't think.
Yeah, Borderlands is a train wreck. Did me clicking on it play it? No?
No.
Okay. Have to play the arrow.
There we go.
Wait, how long is this one? I guess we probably won't have time to do a whole one.
This
10
video is
minutes,
brought to
okay.
you by Brilliant.
Oh.
This will contain
my
spoilers. Alright, I feel a little bad about this one now. I'm aware that I'm kind of kicking this movie while it's down. The film has been garnering pretty aggressively negative reviews across the board.
I guess it's interesting that the reviewers specifically hate it, whereas the audience is neutral on it. Like, what got the reviewers so upset? But I guess we'll find out from this professional reviewer.
50% is not particularly good for an audience score, just because I think most people are willing to give a movie the benefit of the doubt as long as it's like vaguely entertaining.
I mean, I think you can see a 50% movie and it'll be okay. I mean, you thought this movie was not as
like
bad, right?
50% means like 1 out of every 2 people didn't like it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like that's still the kind of movie that I'll be fine watching. I mean, I guess that is just like a 50% score. Like, like a lot of movies have a 50% score. People are hard to please. Okay, you can't blame the movie that a lot of people didn't like it.
It got a D+ on Cinema Score, which is what is used when like people go see movies and then they like give people a rating scale, and it got a D+. Usually movies get around a B+ to an A.
Wow.
Like if you're getting a C or below, you really fucked up. So people did not like Borderlands.
I mean, I think an audience score of 50 is higher than a lot of movies. Well, I guess it's not as bad as a lot of movies, at least on Rotten Tomatoes. But whatever. Let's see what
a stunning way to recommend Borderlands to someone.
I mean, like, there was one guy who asked me if he should see Borderlands, and he had seen Deadpool and he hated it. So I said, no, what are you thinking? It's, like, there's nothing you'll enjoy about this movie. You keep, every time he complains that the movies are too violent, or like whatever. But I mean, like, this is a pretty obvious movie where you're gonna get what you're gonna. I mean, where you know what you're gonna get when you go into it. Like, it is gonna be really stupid, and if you don't like that, then don't see it. But okay, let's see.
And the box office, it's rough. But as I sat there the other day watching Borderlands play out on the big screen, I just knew I had to make a video about it, because it's in that category of big, wide-release films that has come to increasingly capture my imagination over the years. A movie where you sit back and think, this can't possibly be what they wanted to make. Right? Madam Web was probably the last movie I saw that fit this mold, and while Borderlands does not reach those heights of absolutely baffling filmmaking choices, it's no slouch in its own right either. And unlike Madam Web, this is from a filmmaker in Eli Roth.
Wait, wouldn't you have said this exact stuff about Madam Web, where it's like, oh yeah, it's so bad it's good, right?
Yeah, I love Madam Web.
I mean, he was delighted by the flaws of Madam Web as well, I think. So I think you probably agree with him on that one, but who knows? I guess
her thread connects them all.
Yeah.
Whose movies have at least meant something to me at one point in my life. So I feel like I have some stuff to really get into here. Before I do, please hit all the buttons and the bells and the things.
There's no skipping. Oh, there's skipping.
Oh my god. It's Claptrap.
I'll be honest, when it comes to the video games, I don't have much of a history with them. I tried the second or third one years ago, and not as much as some of the other super strong of interest to see the next Eli Roth film. Now, Eli Roth, for those who don't know or who are maybe just a lot younger than me, used to have a reputation as kind of an edgy, lowbrow horror director. He's also an actor. You might know him from Inglourious Bastards, but he loves horror. He actually hosted a podcast a few years ago that I really enjoyed about the genre. And when I was...
Man, I cannot imagine you go directing and then this guy with his baseball bat is telling you what to do.
the bear Jew is telling you.
Wow, the Jews really have taken over Hollywood, huh? Damn.
Just getting into horror around age 13 or so, I found his early work like Hostel, but especially his debut Cabin Fever, to be these really disturbing, provocative movies. Just mean-spirited and kind of scary and cruel. The kind of films that I had just never really been exposed to before that. And even though, to varying degrees, I don't think all that much of those films now, I'll never forget how shocking those experiences felt at the time. So as a result, I've always kind of followed his career and checked in with him. Occasionally, he's turned out a solid late-night cable type of horror movie, like last year's slasher Thanksgiving. He's also embraced doing some kind of kid-friendly stuff, like 2018's The House with the Clock in Its Walls, a movie I mostly remember because they say Captain Midnight in it like 12 times. Wow. But Roth used to seem like he wanted to lean into being provocative, in bad taste. An extremely shocking director that mainstream critics would want to turn their noses up at. And I think by and large, he's kind of failed at that. Some examples would be his 2013 horror movie Green Inferno, which he positioned as a brutal takedown of college campus activists, but which failed to make much of any impact at all, let alone really
Man, he really talks a lot.
Maybe he just wanted to put all that behind him. And I can see how he maybe felt that Guardian...
Man, that was a lot of talk just about the director. Wow, okay, let's just get to the actual movie, jeez.
Of the Galaxy-izing
Well, he's probably saying why he's so disappointed in the movie.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Like, he wanted something shocking, he wanted something, like, transgressive from the movie, but,
well, that would be...
Borderlands does not deliver that.
I mean, he said that he did kid-friendly stuff, too, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
For him. He watched James Gunn go from making gross-out horror movies and dark indie comedies to becoming the head of DC, thanks to harnessing what people liked about his style and shaving away some of the more jagged edges that you would find in early Gunn films like Super. And I think Roth was aiming for something like that. Borderlands was originally intended to be a gory R-rated action comedy, and as we watch Deadpool and Wolverine rake in crazy box office numbers, it's easier than ever to see why they felt that would be a good idea. But then, clearly, something happened. Borderlands feels like a movie that's been cut to the bone and had its soul removed. Now, what that soul looked like...
Man, everyone keeps saying that. Did you feel that way? That it was, like, shuffled in the reshoots or whatever?
I mean, if it started out as a hard R movie and then they like cut away all that stuff and made it so it's PG-13 and more audience friendly for like kids to see, then yeah, sure. But I went in knowing it was PG-13. I went in knowing that it was a movie based on Borderlands, so it's like it's gonna be somewhat sanitized. I really don't care that Borderlands is like violent and has blood in it and stuff. I just don't care.
I mean, it would just be cartoon violence anyway, so it wouldn't make sense. But I guess there's just this possibility that they had this gory version and now it was destroyed and the artistic soul of this movie gone with it, but probably not.
Like, I can't really say, but something seems like it was there and now it's gone. Just long gone. What remains isn't so much a competent recreation of Guardians of the Galaxy like hijinks, but endlessly empty gestures at that tone without ever really committing to it. It wants to posture like it has this irreverent attitude and offbeat approach when it's the most bog-standard action comedy I've seen in a long time. One sure sign that a movie has been cut within an inch of its life in the editing room is sloppy narration used to patch scenes together. And man, there's plenty of that here. Let's just say this is not my favorite movie that opens with a long monologue from Cate Blanchett, but it doesn't stop with the opening. The first 20 minutes of this thing are just covered in that narration, often conveying things that could have been easily communicated visually or in regular dialogue. It's really handled poorly, made worse by the PG-13 rating, which has her calling things weirdo BS in the most unconvincing attempt at sounding edgy that I've really heard this year. It's just a little sad because
I don't remember that at all.
What, the long monologues? It's definitely there.
Weird OBS. I mean, when did she say that? I wonder. I mean, well, maybe her character would have made more sense if she was swearing, but also swearing is lame, so maybe not. It's weird. What, you don't think so? Like,
I don't think swearing is lame.
I mean, like, when you just do it without being in control of it, it seems bad. Like, if you're just constantly swearing, like, what is the point?
This series is very big on saying the fuck word, right?
What,
this whole Borderlands series, no, Borderlands is very much like, guess what we did? Players' moms. Can you believe that your son is playing this?
Well, I mean, I guess that's true. Okay, so it might have made sense in universe to be cringy. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we lost the soul of cringe. Oh no.
Because they so clearly wish that they could actually swear in this movie. Now, as someone who believes that Blanchett gave one of the best lead performances of the past decade in Tar, I'm sad to say that she completely sleepwalks her way through this movie. In that film, she played an egotistical, controlling orchestra conductor. In this, she's an untouchable badass, a feared and ultra-capable bounty hunter. But I can tell you which character I think projects more charisma and intimidation, and it's not the one with the 6-shooters. Now, maybe it's unfair to compare those performances. These are very different movies. But knowing what Blanchett is capable of really underlines how flat her performance is here.
I guess it must be something to this if everyone seems to say it. Like, oh wow, she's so uncharismatic. But like, why would a random bounty hunter be charismatic? It's so stupid. Like, not threatening. Why would she be threatening to the audience? It doesn't make any sense.
She doesn't care. Like, that's the character. She does not care.
Yeah, I mean, like, what does that even mean? Is she supposed to be like? Does she have to wear skulls or whatever to be intimidating? How is she gonna be intimidating? Is she gonna be like Gus Fring, where it's like, yes, I will murder your infant daughter? Like, how could she be intimidating? I don't understand what this criticism means. Do you have any idea?
I mean, I think she's intimidating enough in the movie.
I mean, I guess the characters are not usually intimidating, intimidated by her, except for the first guy at the start. But yeah, when she killed everyone at that bar, that was stupid too, I guess. Whatever. I guess I don't understand intimidation here.
And I'm not sure Jamie Lee Curtis really fares much better. Though, again, I suspect her screen time as this wacky scientist character was significantly cut down. Otherwise, I have no idea why you get Curtis for this completely nothing role. Now, Kevin Hart doesn't get to be very funny here, but it seems like he's enjoying playing the straightforward tough guy at least, something that he doesn't get to do often. Ariana Greenblatt from Barbie as Tiny Tina, and Florian Montanu.
Oh, that's me. Now, who was she in Barbie?
Who?
Who was Tina in Barbie?
The little girl.
Oh! Wait, no. Wasn't the little girl, like, Mexican in Barbie?
Ariana Greenblatt is definitely Latina.
Oh, I guess I couldn't tell because she was blonde in this. Alright.
As Krieg give easily the most committed performances in the movie. But they're not given material worthy of their efforts, with Krieg especially feeling like a lazy riff on Drax that they didn't really bother to write actual jokes for.
I mean, I don't think he says anything, so I don't know how he's a riff on a character who does in fact say things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you remember him saying anything? I think he was just silent all the time. It
was a lot of just silence for him.
Like, if anything, he's Groot. Like, he's just not saying anything.
And playing the role of Groot.
Vin Diesel, yep.
And then there's Claptrap, played by Jack Black. He talked a lot in this movie, and it's clear they just had Black in the recording booth riffing for a lot of this stuff. And
yeah, this was a mistake. I need to watch these in advance to make sure they're not all saying the same thing every time. Fucking stupid. And why are they always showing the pooping scene? They just can't help themselves.
I mean, if people didn't think that was funny, I can see that being the like standout. Why are you showing this to me?
Yeah, they shouldn't have included that in the trailer, and then the scene would have really landed okay. Because I thought it was cool when he pooped out the bullets. I thought like, oh, Claptrap dispenses bullets. I don't remember that, but no, he was just shot with 1,000,000 bullets, and then he just is immortal and shits them out. It's pretty convenient.
It's not very good. It was very unpleasant. I did not like it. Now, a lot of this would be more forgivable if...
Wait, he didn't like Jack Black either? What? Well, why does everyone hate Jack Black now? It's a shame.
The action set pieces were solid, but they really aren't. Okay, so it came and went with no one paying much attention to it, but if we're comparing video game adaptations, I don't think the action here comes anywhere close to touching what Paul W.S. Anderson managed on half the budget in Monster Hunter. Like, say what you will about
Monster Hunter, wasn't that movie terrible? I guess it probably was.
I did not see it.
I mean, I know I didn't see it, but I saw that it had a bad score, and I tried, like, I was thinking like, oh, I'll watch it. I got like 1 minute in, so it wasn't really a try, but I didn't.
Oh, you tapped out incredibly early.
Yeah, it did not work out for me.
Wow.
It's a very strange movie. I guess I really should.
Honestly, Florian, you should champion Borderlands in relation to Monster Hunter. It'd be like, I did not make it 1 minute through Monster Hunter. Borderlands is so much better.
Well, I didn't see it in the cinema. That might have helped. I guess it never made it to the cinema here, so I didn't even know that it existed until recently, and then I saw, oh, it released like 1 or 2 years ago. Wow.
I completely forgot about it, actually. Wiped itself from my brain.
Wait, so you did know about it originally?
I knew about it, I just didn't see it.
Wow, how did I miss this?
Monster Hunter. I actually really have a soft spot for that movie, but it looks like an actual movie. Borderlands,
I guess that did look pretty good there.
Despite costing over $100 million, looks closer to a late era sci-fi show like Vagrant Queen or Killjoys, but without the low budget charm.
I don't know why my
story
went out.
Your Steam?
So my stream, it wasn't live, but it's back to being live.
Okay, weird.
What little there is very simple, but the movie still feels crammed with exposition somehow. The third act reveal that it's Blanchette's Lilith, who is the special chosen one with the vault opening / Firebird superpowers, is not really surprising or thrilling because they hadn't set up the mystery of who this special one could be competently enough for it to make much of any impact. Now, maybe this stuff works better for fans of the games, but something tells me that that's probably not the case. I'd be fascinated to view the original cut of this movie, just to see why they felt like they needed to cut their losses and release it in this state. Just like Madam Web before it, I cannot figure out why releasing a movie in this patchwork, clearly stitched together way was preferable to what they had. Like, anything seems better than this, with its awkward pacing and bad ADR. Maybe at some point in the process, there was a good movie in here, but honestly, I'd settle for something that just felt distinct and somewhat memorable. And Eli Roth, with his love of gory excess, seems like he could have pulled that off. As it exists now, though, Borderlands just feels completely flavorless. Like,
you know, I think people are really bad at just overthinking things. Like, maybe there was overreach or something, or maybe the movie just never came together. You know, sometimes you just work on something for years, and it just never becomes that gem that you want it to be, and eventually you will have to release it. You know,
I do think that's part of why Eli Roth left, and it might have been that they came to him and was like, "Hey, we're gonna make this PG-13," and he was like, "I can't see any way of making that work." I personally think you can make it work within a PG-13 rating. You can just make all the blood like gunk and goo and like dark rather than like bright red. But like, I think Eli Roth's heart wasn't in it. So when it came to like start to make tough decisions, he fled rather than helped make those decisions.
Maybe he spent millions of his own money on blood effects, and then it was all to be cut away, and that's when he was a broken man and he couldn't continue.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
The studio just
every time, like, you're just gonna like, spin some kind of theory of why it didn't work out instead of just accepting that there's no easy way sometimes to finish a product. But this was good enough. Like the disappointment that this guy here expresses at how there's like sloppy things in this movie is bizarre. Like, wow, does it really destroy your engagement this much when there's like a weird voiceover that doesn't fit, or if the effects are just slightly worse? I mean, that worm looks pretty cool.
Voiceover is one of the like main complaints people tend to have. I generally don't care. I don't mind.
Yeah, I usually like when there's voiceovers. Finally, I get everything explained to me. I mean, voiceovers are in fact very like economical. Like, you could really tell a lot just really quick just by telling, instead of having to slowly experience it all. Well, I mean, obviously, it's not like the high art of movies, but I mean,
why would you ever tell a movie, or why would you ever watch a movie when you could just tell the story to you, Florian?
Yeah, like that movie. What was it? It's not Hitman. It's the other one, The Killer, where it's basically he's just constantly talking to himself, and it's like you're watching a let's play of Hitman instead of an actual movie, and I hated that more than anything. But the reason why is because he's just making inane, stupid observations the entire time instead of informing us about the deeper plot or anything, and that's why
that is a character over plot kind of story.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
It's a terrible character. It's the character of a Let's Player. I hated it. Oh well.
Declared defeat and released a highly compromised version of the film. Why they did that, maybe we'll never know. But one thing is for sure. At a time where video game adaptations and R-rated action comedies have proved that they can do very well for themselves, Borderlands really fell down on the job. It's too late for Borderlands to be a better movie, but thankfully, it's not too late for us
to do Skillshare. Let's do the sponsor. All right, there you go. We did a thing, and we reviewed the reviewers
to improve.
Wait, what? Oh, green. Look,
do you think we owned them? Do you think
Brilliant.org?
Not a mistake. That was a transition. We
yeah,
owned them.
Screw this. Get out of here.
I just wanted to say that there's like. Let's see, is there any...
Florian, stop this shit.
I'm just trying
to... You don't have to watch Brilliant.org.
I'm trying to find a scene of Cate Blanchett because I hate her hair, okay? And I want to highlight that real quick. I think this guy should be ashamed that he had the same stuff to say as the critical drinker. But I guess that's what you're going to get. Like, if you pay to talk about movies, I guess you're just going to all have the same thing to say. You got to be careful with that one. But, like, I guess my main concern is that Cate Blanchett's hair is so bad. It's like so always
PG-13 rating, which has her calling things.
It's always this shape, and she turns her head, and her hair is like fixed in this shape, and it just follows her. Like what does Siren in Borderlands look like? Does she has normal? Oh, this. Oh my god, it has the same hair. But I assume that this really fucking cool. I assumed that this here means that this is like a cartoony. I mean, you can tell the outlines. This is a cartoony style. So if you have this character and her hair is like this in this solid piece, then it's pretty sure that if you translate that into an action movie with live action hair, then it should be like flowing red hair. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it blows my mind that they just went along with this like unmoving hair that's just always facing this way. Always as if the wind had blown it that way. Or does she style her hair in that way? Like, this is the deepest misunderstanding of the characters and the game world in this movie, okay? And this is This is the worst thing about Borderlands, the movie, okay? I hope...
It just seems very anime to me.
Weirdo BS in the most
maybe.
unconvincing attempt at sounding edgy that I've really heard this year.
Doesn't make sense to be anime, does it? I mean, this is like... It looks kind of Western style, comic-y, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, there you go. I hope you all enjoyed it. Do you have any final thoughts on Borderlands?
I think we've said enough about Borderlands, like more than anyone should ever have to listen to about a movie that's pretty mediocre overall.
I mean, I had a good time. Jeez. Alright, whatever. Well, subscribe for more. Next up, we're gonna review Acolyte, and we're gonna review the reviewers. So subscribe to Anti-Reviews. Bye, everyone.
Those bastard reviewers.
They took it from us, and we will have our revenge. Just
Fuckers.
like John Wick.
Mm-hmm.